Factor where? Only the bottom?
You can factor the top.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
5, 2x plus y, 2x minus y, over what?
2x plus y, x minus 8.
Oops. Where do we cancel now? And my final answer is 5, 2x minus y over x minus 8y. And x cannot equal, this one's tricky. Yeah. X cannot equal, sorry, not x. Y is what I will do first. Cannot equal negative 2x. And y cannot equal 1/8 x. And of course, x cannot equal negative 1/2 y, and x cannot equal 8y. What about dividing? Start the same way always, so what is it? Factor the, all four of these factor, right? So it's x plus 3 x minus 8 over x minus 3 x minus 8 times x plus 4 x minus 3 over 2x plus 1 and x minus 3. No, x plus 3. Yeah. Then cancel. X plus 3, x plus 3, x minus 3, x minus 3, x minus 8, x minus 8. And I'm left with x plus 4 over 2x plus 1. X cannot equal a whole bunch of stuff. What? 3, 8. Yeah, plus or minus 3. 8, negative 1/2, and negative 4. This one, x plus 1 equals. Now, I, of course, don't like that, so I make it negative x minus 4 over x plus 1 x minus 4 plus 6 over x minus 4. Yeah? Common denominator is x plus 1, x minus 4. This guy needs x. What does this guy need? X minus 4. What does this guy need? X plus 1. So I get x squared minus 4x equals negative x plus 4 plus 6x plus 6. And then you work it out. X squared, bring that over, becomes positive x. Bring that over, becomes negative 6x. So that's negative 9x. Yeah. And then bring both of these over, negative 10 equals 0. X plus 1, x minus 10 equals 0. So x equals negative 1 and positive 10. But x can't be negative 1. So the answer is 10. Now, if you did all that and forgot negative 1, I'd probably take away a mark. All right. Are you ready? No? Okay. What do you think you should do to start here? Factor. Okay. So that's x plus 17, x plus 8 over negative x plus, damn it, Oh yeah, x plus 3 equals x plus 8, x minus 10 over x minus 2. Is everybody happy to there? Just factored, right? Is that fraction equals fraction? So what can we do? What can we do every time we have fraction equals fraction? Cross multiply. X plus 17, x plus 8, x minus 2 equals x plus 8. Now I'm going to put this negative out in front. X plus 3 and x minus 10. Yes? Everybody's happy there? Okay. Now, this is ugly. We're scared of it, right? But if this looked normal, like right here, what would we do? Well, we'd move everything to one side, right? So let's see what happens. X plus 17, x plus 8, x minus 2, plus x plus 8, x plus 3, x minus 10. Are we happy there? We're still scared. It's scary. It's ugly. But are we it's a step we're familiar with, right? Move everything to one side, yeah? What do you see there and there? Which makes them common factors, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So what are we allowed to do with all common factors? We're allowed to bring them out, right? That leaves me with x plus 17 times x minus 2, yeah? Plus, what's left over here? Plus 3, x minus 10, right? Everybody happy still? Okay. Now we're a little bit stuck because we still can't solve this, can we? So now our friend Jacob is going to say what he thinks we should do here. Expand. X plus 8, x squared plus 15x minus 34, yeah? Plus x squared minus 7x minus 30, yeah? Now what should we do in there? Same thing we would do all the time, right? We collect like terms, yeah? 2x squared plus 8x, right? Minus 64, yeah? What would you do with that? I'd bring out a 2, yeah? Okay, so 2, x plus 8, because we got two factors out front, x plus 4, x squared plus 4x minus 32, yeah? Okay, what would you do with that? That would be x plus 8, x minus 4, wouldn't it? What do you see right there? They're the same. So if it was 2xx, what would we write? If I had 2x times x, what would I write with the x's? Okay, so x plus 8 squared, x minus 4 would equal 0, yes? Now, x plus 8 would have to equal 0, or x minus 4 would have to equal 0. So what is x? Negative 8, 4. That's the thing, though, right? It's totally weird. You're like, "Ugh!" But if you try stuff, what happened? Everybody knew what to do, right? When you're in doubt, think how much math knowledge you have in your head. I know that it feels like you don't have a lot sometimes, but in reality, how much math is in your people's heads? A crap ton, right? if you're in doubt, try something, right? Like everybody should have been able to get to here, because how many times have I said cross multiply? You got to this line?
I just did the opposite of every X.
Yeah, but with the plus in the middle, you can't do that, right? Because this would be just like 2x plus, 2x times 6x times 3x plus, right? You couldn't do it that way. Now, could you have expanded and expanded here? And then you would have had 2x cubes, and then collected your like terms and maybe figure out how to factor this. Maybe. But when you're in doubt, try stuff. Okay? Now, obviously, that is a crazy hard question. That's why it's on a warm-up to just see what would happen. But when you try stuff, everybody's like, oh. Everybody figured out what we're doing, yeah? Okay. Where are we now? We are here, and you are asking questions if you have any more about 178. I believe I did the first 3 with you, or only the first 2? We did the first 2. I think I have all these anyway from an old one. Yeah, there they are. Oh, so I didn't finish that one. That's x squared plus x minus 6, which is x plus 3, x minus 2, so x equals negative 3 or positive 2. This one is undefined, and that one is right there. X equals plus or minus 2. Again, do not try to copy them down. They are on the video. There is your answers there. T is negative 2, positive 3. There's the non-permissible values. As you can see, I just factored, collected like terms as usual. And in this one, you had an extraneous root because x cannot equal negative 1 because of that right there. So the answer is 3. Factor, 12. This one, of course, doesn't factor. So if it doesn't factor, what do we do? Quadratic equation. There is the exact answer. And there is the approximate answer. Why do I only give one approximate answer and technically only one there? The other would be a negative number, and a negative length makes no sense. Everybody good? All right, let's go. Page, I don't know what page it is. 179. Rational word problems. Now, hopefully a great many of you remember grade 10 word problems, which were pretty easy, right? Read the question, assign a variable, solve the variable, move on, right? You all remember these. A real quick, easy one. You don't have to write this down. A real quick, easy one. 2 numbers add to 29 and have a difference of 5. And you all remember how to solve these type of questions, right? 2 numbers. How many variables do I need? 2. x plus y equals 29, x minus y equals 5. And then you would solve that system, right? This is when you all say, yeah, totally, Myers, I get that. Yeah, of course. So you read the question, you decide on the math you need because you had two unknowns, you had two variables, you write an equation, you solve the equation, there's your answer. Yeah? So what's the only difference now? It's going to be a rational equation, right? That's the only difference. So, 1, decide on the info you need. 2, write an equation. Now, decide on the info you need. That means there's going to be an unknown, yes? The unknown has to get a variable. Write an equation. Solve the equation. And number 4 is actually answer the question. Because just like that last question on your homework yesterday, when you solved the equation, you got a negative value, yeah? Does that answer the question? No. What if you get an extraneous root? Does that answer the question? No. So you got to remember that one of the numbers you find once you solve your equation is the answer to the question. Is everybody good? All right, so let's go. Here's the first question. Tim takes 4 hours to paint a room, paints a room. Nice typing. Tim takes 4 hours to paint a room. It takes Bob 3 hours to paint the same area. How long will it take if they work together? Every kid says 7. Every kid says 7. And I say, what? And they say, yeah, 7, because 3 and 4. It's going to take one guy 3 and it's going to take one guy 4. How can that be? It doesn't quite take just over 2 hours, but we'll get to that in a minute. How can it be 7? It can't be, but people always say it is. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this question, so I like to split my page into 2. All right? 2 ways. Let's do this. We got to think about this logically. Now, Hayden's already thought about logic. He's like, it can't possibly take 7 hours. It also can't possibly take more than 3 hours, can it? Because if Bob could do it by himself in 3, somebody else helping, even if he's a slacker, they're going to get done in less than 3 hours, yeah? Of course, if he were painting with students from Abbey Senior and there was a deadline and painting was supposed to start at 8:10, it couldn't get done by 11:10 because that would be 3 hours later and 90% of the students would be late. So we can't do it that way either. So we have to make some assumptions here. 1, this is in the real world. And 2, nobody's going to run in like the Tasmanian devil and kick over all the paint cans. Okay? Woohoo! Screw you, Tim! And out the door, right? That's not going to happen.
Next time you're painting your house.
Okay. All right. So how do we describe this? Well, we've got a couple of choices here. Yes? One, well, actually, you talk about it for a moment. It's a rational equation, yes? So what are we going to need? Some variables. And what else? What else are we going to need? We're going to need some fractions. Okay, good. And now, keep talking, think. What else? What operation are we going to need? No, you're just saying the 4 things that you're allowed to say. What one are we going to need here? We have Tim and Bob. Addition. Okay. Good. We're off and running. Okay. So you said addition, but then you started saying all the other four. So we could look at it this way. Tim plus Bob will equal how many rooms painted? 1. Everyone agree? Okay. How much of that room will, or what don't we know is a better question. We don't know the time they're going to take to do this job, yes? So what is our variable? Really? Time is the thing we do not know. Time. And that's going to equal little t, yeah? Does everyone agree? I don't even know what you're laughing about. Oh, the microphone's not plugged in. Oh, I'm a mess today. I might recommend watching the B Block one if you have to. And now we're back to our good friend Kyra. All right. So we did rate of change first last time, so we'll do the other one first this time. How long does it take Kyra to do the job? 40, right? So it would be T over 40. Agreed? Right? Her boyfriend, Billy Bob, will take how long? Do we know? No. So that would be what? T over what? Another variable, right? So X, sure. And together, do we know their time? Right? Everyone agree? Okay, so how would I solve that? What math am I doing? Addition. So Kyra, what's Kyra's score? T over 40 plus what? Equals what? Yeah? Is everybody happy with that? Okay, well that looks a little weird to me. Why? Because what? What is wrong? What's my common denominator? Keep going. This is how you people need to do math. What do we do? Try it. What do you need to do with that? 120? Okay. So what did this need? This needed 3x, right? What did this need? 120, because it had the x, right? Equals, what did this need? 5x. So now 120 equals what? 2x. So what does x equal? Which is? How long will it take him to do it by himself? Same thing both ways. Remember, if you have the fractions of the time it takes them to do the job or whatever, then it has to equal the total job, right? If you've gone to rate, then it's fraction. Okay, number 4, read the question. I'm recording, and then we'll talk about it. What are the three things being measured? No, in the question, what are the three things being measured? There's a distance. What else? There's a speed, and there's a time. Now, how many of you are in Physics 11 right now? Only one? Do any of you plan to take Physics 11 next semester? Okay. So let's remind you very quickly. How do distance and speed and time relate? What does speed equal? You all drive cars or have been in cars. What does speed equal? Distance over time, right? Which means, what does D equal? S times T. And what does T equal? It's algebra.
It's over the wall. That's what I said. And then he's like, he stared at me. So I lost confidence in my answer.
I can't believe how soft you guys are. All right. Now, what do I know to fill in this chart?
The distance.
What's the distance?
24 kilometers.
24 kilometers there, and
The speed of the current is 2 kilometers an hour.
well, hold up. We got to split this, don't we? Because he's coming home, isn't he? So how far is he coming home? 24. Excellent. And then on the way there, what does he have? Do we know how fast he rows the boat? So what must we give it? Okay, I'm going to call it S. Actually, my S's sometimes look like 5s. When he rows there, is the current helping him? When he rows there, is the current helping him? Read the question. It doesn't matter. If you don't know which way the Fraser River flows, don't worry about that. Is the current helping him in one direction? So will it be adding to or subtracting from his speed? How much? What will happen when he returns? Right? And how long does the whole trip take? 9 hours. Do we know how long it took him to get there? Do we know how long it took him to get home? But we know that this time plus this time will equal what? Just 9. The whole trip was 9 hours, right? How do we find time? What does time equal? Say it. Distance over speed. Do we have a distance? What is it? Do we have a speed? What is it? Do we have a distance home? Do we have a speed? Do I now have an equation? Can I solve it? Yeah. Should I solve it? Yeah. Good. Solve it. Go for Myers. Let me check. I have
3, but with exam talking time coming up, might as well.
Yep. Okay. Bye. How we doing here? I think you do know how.
No, I don't know how to do it. I'm just going off on what they say, going off on. Wait, why don't you just like leave it on for like 6 hours and then have like make a cut? Yeah. And then just include like timestamp.
Because then, if I did that, when I peed and things, how would you guys be able to talk about how much you hate me in math class? I am not bugging the classroom. I am not that guy. Okay? How about you? Well, it doesn't matter because none of you watch the videos. So why would I watch the videos? I'm making the videos. Huh? Oh, good call. Oh, yeah. I never even thought of that. Why would I don't watch the videos because whether or not you guys like me in math doesn't affect me in any way. Well done, Indigo. Whew. All right.
Speedy McCord.
I named him.
Wait, really? No way.
So again, is this a distance, speed, time question?
Yeah.
So I better worry about my distance, my speed, and my time. How is the race split up? Into how many parts? 2. And what would you call these 2 parts? Okay. So first half, second half. How far does he travel in the first half of the race?
It don't say.
It does say.
No. Blank plus blank equals 140.
Dude, it's half the race. How far did he travel?
I see. Oh, it's distance, not time. Oh, no.
Somebody tell me how far the first half of a 140-mile race is.
70 miles. Oh, no.
How far
I read through this.
is the second half of a 140-mile bike race?
70. It's gonna run a little bit past the finish line.
How fast is McWhirly Pedals pedaling his bicycle?
6 miles.
No.
That's after the halfway point. Oh. It slows him down by 6 miles per hour. So it would be something minus.
Oh, okay. So the first half, he is cycling at some speed. What happens halfway through the race? He loses 6 miles an hour of speed. Now, how long does it take him to complete the race? 8.5 hours. How long did it take him to do the first half? 70 over x. How long did it take him to do the second half? What's our equation that we must now solve? Now, I would do something to get rid of that decimal right now if I was worried about it. I'm not worried about it. But you might be. So what could you do to get rid of that decimal right now? You could multiply the whole thing by 2, yes? then you'd have 140, 140, and 17. Right? So what are we going to do here? What's our common denominator? Okay, it's x minus 6.
No.
I need both of them, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's this guy getting? So that's going to be 70x minus 320, yes? 20. What's this guy getting? Plus 70x equals what? What's this guy getting? X squared minus 6x, right? So 8.5x squared minus 6 times 8 is 48, 51x. Right? What do we do? Collect like terms. 140x minus 320 equals 8.5x squared minus 51x. 8.5x squared minus 191x plus 320. And then what would I need to do? Because I ain't factoring that. Quadratic equation, or if you're very handy with your friend the graphing calculator, plug it in, graph it, find the zeros. Which way am I going to do because I'm out of room? I'm going to go to the graphing calculator. 8.5x squared minus 191x plus 320. Graph. Because your window is small. Your app crashed?
Yeah, I pressed enter and then it found my cursor. Oh no. What just happened? Speed and McFarlane, how did you do this? I don't even know what I just did.
So I got 20.6 and and 1.8. Which is the right answer? Why? They're both positive.
Because when it slows the speed by 6 miles an hour, he's going to be going negative speed.
It's blowing him backwards. So it has to be that one. That's a tough race.
What? It's like he's going to flip his bike backwards. No, what?
Okay.
It's his bike backwards and the wind blows him. Yeah.
You've got 4 questions to do, but we only have 5 minutes. That's your homework. This question is very difficult because I haven't actually showed you one. But I think you can figure it out. Because it's a lot like the lawnmower question or the painting question. 4 questions to do, you try them.